And now it's time for the sponsor perspective portion of our program. A quick clarification before we begin. While I am conducting the interview and the questions are really mine, the content of this next interview shouldn't be considered editorial. With that, I'm joined by Cristiano Amon, president of Qualcomm. Cristiano, it's great to see you. I don't think I've seen you. I shouldn't be humble bragging here. I think the last time I saw you was Davos. And when we were still all going to Davos. Davos canceled this year, but World Economic Forum. And it was a pleasure to see you. So, Cristiano, I think what I'd like to start with is we're thinking about the future of work. We're also talking about the future of our societies, the future of our cities, the future of our rural areas. And part of that is the infrastructure for, the sharing of stuff quickly. Can you help paint a picture for what that world is going to look like? Because you're building it. Qualcomm has invented it, and you're building it.
No, I'm happy to, Steve. Good to see you. Yes, you was in Davos, and a lot has changed since then. So yes. Very happy to be here. Look, this is a very interesting moment for the tech industry, especially for the communications industry, an area that Qualcomm, is part of. We have seen what happened in the pandemic, which is incredible. Try to be an optimist, like everything, you are going to identify there's some good things, there's some bad things, but we hope that we're going to get rid of the bad, we're going to keep the good. And from a technology perspective, connectivity in general has, allowed companies, to continue to function, people, to continue to be connected with each other. And the interesting thing when you talk about use cases in general for technology, what would take us 5 to 10 years for the industry to understand the potential technology, we understood that in about 1 or 2 quarters. So, and I think we've seen that as an acceleration of the role of the digital economy, the role of digital transformation of many of the enterprises. The enterprise was quickly trying to connect other people, and others want to connect their assets. And associated with all of this is this big transition to 5G. We have this view since the beginning that 5G is going to be, the future of the internet, is how we're going to connect everything to the cloud 100% of the time. That's the elevator pitch on 5G. And with that will be a significant transformation of not only the economy itself, but how we think about cities, how we think about transportation, how we think about energy. And it's a great opportunity. And it's all been accelerated right now.
I was talking to a friend at Qualcomm, and he said one of the misplaced understandings about 5G is a lot of people are thinking it's going to, increase their Netflix download speed. It's going to be about, more Twitter. Maybe, I just, did a wobbly interview with a friend who's Assistant Secretary of Labor across town. Quality wasn't that great. But we're really talking about autonomous vehicles. We're talking about everything being connected, the density of connections. And so can you talk to us a little bit about what that future of the world and the future of work looks like? Because I just think we need to kind of raise the bar of seriousness and consequence when it comes to thinking about what 5G is going to deliver. It's going to be more than, the latest show on Netflix. Not to knock the latest show on Netflix.
Yes, no, and this is a great topic of conversation. And let me divide this in 2 pieces, right? I want to talk about some of the potential of the technology, and then I'm going to lead into what you mentioned, just the future of work. But just looking at potential technology, yes, it will make your Netflix go faster. I think, everything you do today with data, as 5G brings a lot more speeds, it's been designed for unlimited data, and it brings a lot more performance. Just building on your Netflix example, what 4G did to music, that nobody has CD anymore. You don't listen to CDs in your car. Maybe few do, but not the majority of people. It's going to do that to video, and in both directions, right? Not only are you going to have 4K video as easy as music, no matter what signal level you have, you'll be able to generate a lot of that content. Will make everyone a broadcaster. It's kind of interesting dynamic. So those things are going to get much better. Social network is going to better evolve into social presence. You're getting a glimpse of that, how much video calls we're doing, and the capabilities of 5G will bring into virtual presence. But more than that, it's going to have a lot of use cases in other industries. I'll give an example. You mentioned about autonomy. The car is a great example of that. Just think about that, how, of the potential is. Cars are going to communicate with other cars in the road, communicate with pedestrians to the cell phone that you carry with you, will communicate to the infrastructure. So something that today we see in many cars, like a navigation, even if you're the driver behind the wheel, think about populating the navigation map with every location of pedestrian in the road, every other car, arriving at an intersection, what is the possible paths of those cars, and calculated the speed in real time, using machine learning to make predictions and give you warnings about what is going to happen. Same thing about an intersection, communicating with the cars in the road. So 5G, because it's defined as this technology that connects everything to the cloud in a reliable manner. We never had that in wireless before. You have mission critical, capabilities. Not only you change transportation, you're going to change manufacturing. A manufacturing robot will be connected to the cloud and getting from the cloud, information about what to do, as well as provide information back to the cloud for machine learning, increase of productivity. And that leads to your future of work, right? So we all saw there are two topics now that are driving a lot of things in the tech sector. One is the enterprise transformation of the home. Your home is becoming the enterprise, right? The other one is the acceleration of the digital transformation of many industries. So the enterprise transformation of the home, what we started to see is as you kind of eliminate the walls in the enterprise and you are at work or you are going to be at home, a broadband becomes super important, not only for the usual things about you connecting to other people into a video call, but the hard drive is moving from the machines to the cloud, together with the entire IT infrastructure. And we also seen computing on demand enabled by 5G. Even if you don't have a workstation, you have the ability to run any workload in the cloud. So it's going to democratize computing one more time, and now in the enterprise sector as well. So it is a very big transformation, and we're just at the beginning of that.
Cristiano, let me sneak in one last question. I am a big fan of your museum. I think it's Museum of Innovation at Qualcomm's headquarters in San Diego. I love it because it's got your successes and your flops, but it goes back to Motorola handsets and all different kinds of handsets. But I mean, you basically kind of show, here's all the stuff we cooked up. Some of it was big and some of it was not successful. And I think it's a really great lesson about how technology advances and moves in. We recently had a great chat with the Chief Technology Officer of Atlanta, and he made the comment, he says, you can't become what you can't see, and technology is often that bridge. If you go back in time, you see the different bridges you built. So, I look at you as a guy looking into the future, a little bit more around the corner than the rest of us. Can you share anything about what you see in technology, what you're developing, to share with our lay audience, who don't necessarily see the future, what that's going to look like?
Okay, so when you look, at like a network, and I think you mentioned it in a prior question, 5G technology or every new generation of technology. Look at the history of Qualcomm and our inventions from 3G to where we are right now. It takes a decade at least for every generation of technology. So we're going to see, for example, within the next few years, this technology is going to get mature. It's going to be deployed everywhere. And one thing that is going to come with this, as we think of the future, and you can see the implications on the economy, in social, you can see the implications in how we connect to other people, it will be the next computing platform. So today, you look at your smartphone and you can do an incredible amount of things with your phone. It's probably your inseparable device, but it's somewhat limited by the size of the screen. With 5G, you can build devices that look like eyeglasses like this. And humans will use this. Humans have been using this for a while. And you think about having cameras connected to 5G, and everywhere you go, I can look at you. Immediately, I can go to the cloud, go to LinkedIn, go to Instagram. I find who you are. I find interactions I had with you. I look something I'm interested. I do a search on this, superimpose the images, and I can have a hologram of somebody right in front of me as we connect physical and digital spaces. This is no longer a technology challenge. It's just going to come as 5G gets maturity, and we're going to see the next computing platform and a number of services yet to be invented. And I'll finish this answer by telling you, when we did 4G, we have everybody on their BlackBerries sending emails to each other saying, who needs 100 megabits per second? Nobody needs this, right? And look at the smartphone revolution. So 5G is going to be no different. Many things are yet to be invented.
Well, Cristiano, I want to just say this. I hope you're, get me on screen, folks. Get me on screen. Okay, so I'm very available for beta testing for that, for the glasses you're going to develop. So keep me in mind. So Cristiano Amon, president of Qualcomm, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts and your vision of the future and for supporting today's program.
My pleasure. Good to see you again. Thank you.